Hey, welcome to Friday Night Hangout from Stunthangar. I'm Rusty, and as usual, the links are posted in the live chat next to the video window in YouTube on the Stunthangar channel. And also, if you're a member of stunthangar.com, it's posted in the streaming videos at the bench thread. And so tonight, we're wrapping up another week. And we've had a couple of members have a tough week, some hospitals involved. And so hopefully both of them say they might be back tonight, and I hope so. And hope everything's going okay with y'all. So you're in our thoughts. And we got another buddy of mine who did a surprise hospital visit this week, and had a pretty serious one, but I think he's okay. And that's one of my Cox Engine Forum buddies, named Dave Fountain, otherwise known as TD Bandit. I think he's on Stunthangar too. I'm not sure, but anyway, he's one of my half A buddies, and he flies big planes too. And so, best wishes, all y'all. Sorry you had such a terrible week. I had what I would have considered a terrible week too, but compared to y'all, I ain't even gonna bother to mention it. So there you go. I hope we can get together a good group of chatters tonight. And one of our members said that he might be able to get one of the mechanics that works on a Reno plane, the Strega, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to come visit us, and that would be super cool if you could do that. So we'll hang out and hope you can drop in on us. And so not much going on. We've got our winter build. Several of us are just getting started with. My Cardinal I talked about last week and earlier this week, and I think Terry has got a Cardinal he's building, and we got 5 or 6 others of us that are building a few things. And so we'll kind of do that as the winter goes along. Some of us are slow builders and some of us are fast builders, but we'll exchange questions and show how we do things, ask how you would do, how each of us will ask the others how they would do certain things, and just kind of share knowledge. That's what we're here for, all about aero modeling, primarily control line, but any kind of modelers or otherwise are welcome here. We just talk about how to do things, from anywhere from race cars to power boats, model power boats. Anyway, don't know anybody. Well, I do know one of our Florida guys has some power boat experience on the ocean, but I've never been fascinated with owning a boat, although we do have some great lakes and bass fishing in my area. Lake Murray is a famous bass fishing spot worldwide, and those guys get out there and put hundreds of horsepower on the water and see if they can hit their spot before it gets taken. They scout it all week. That bass fishing tournaments are a big deal here in the Columbia, South Carolina area, where Lake Murray is, and I have several of them, several tournaments per summer. And I've never competed in one, but I've done plenty of freestyle fishing, just going to fish for stripers in the local rapids in the Saluda River behind the Lake Murray Dam. But I'm hoping aeromodeling is the main topic here. We don't talk much about politics or any of that, and we don't care. It's free, it's a free forum. You're free to think what you want, but we don't worry too much about what each other thinks about politics, religion, that sort of thing. But let's see, we got one anonymous viewer looking in right now. I hope he'll hang with us. I've been kind of recruiting some of the guys from Cox Engine Forum to come over, although it's not Stunthangar. I wish we could get more Stunthangar people, but we've got our first visitor, and it's the green-armed gremlin from New Zealand, Gerald Wimmer. How you doing, Gerald?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good. Can you wave with your green hand?
Yep. I can wave with my green hand.
Oh man, sounds like you really broke that thing. You were talking about getting a piece of metal put in it. But they postponed that part. Is that my understanding correct?
Well, they wanted to put a bit of metal in. My brother, who's a doctor-in-law, still wants to put a bit of metal in it, but they said if it heals roughly okay, I'll be okay without the piece of metal to reinforce it. They just said where the break is, it's very close to where all the nerves run down to my hand. So if they put a bit of metal in and it goes wrong, then I'll lose the movement of my fingers.
Yeah,
So,
that's no fun at all. It's hard to build a model. It's hard to build a model when you can't feel anything in your hand. I know I've been through that, but they've been able to maintain my feeling with carpal tunnel surgery to some extent. So I still have a little bit of feeling in both of them. But anyway, it sounds like a painful thing to have happen. Well, we've got Jamie and Steve joining us.
Jamie.
I hope you guys didn't spend any time in the hospital this week. We've got a couple of members that did, including Gerald and Wally. Was spent a couple of days in the hospital earlier this week, but I believe he's okay. But I hope he'll come on and tell us about it.
What happened, Gerald?
Okay tonight, so we don't need to hear the gory details. But just hoping you're okay out there, Wally. So, how you guys doing, Jamie and Steve?
I'm better. I was wondering what happened to Gerald. What, you break your hand or something?
I broke my arm. I was chopping branches. I was chopping down trees that are close to our house, and there was one. It was an old branch that had been broken in a storm, and I thought I'll just trim that back. And I was a little bit too complacent, and when the branch came down, it didn't go the way I thought it would, and went onto my arm. I think my arm whacked into the ladder, and that's how it got broken. It was a pretty unusual break, they said in the hospital, because it was broken on the underside of my arm. Normally when you fall, you break the main bone here, but it was different. But one of those things you don't forget when you make a silly mistake and it costs you dearly.
Getting complacent is one of the deadliest things you can do. And in my signature on some of the forums, I've got written, don't ever think about how good you are at something while you're doing it. You know, that's asking for trouble.
Samantha's boyfriend's grandfather last week was trimming a tree in his yard, and the branch came down, knocked him off the ladder. He landed on his head, broke his neck, and died.
Oh, hell.
Did you say Samantha's boyfriend or her boyfriend?
Her boyfriend's grandfather.
Oh no. Awful.
Yeah.
I'm off the ladders. I'm off of ladders now. I am not stable enough to get on ladders, and I know it. So my wife would kill me if she saw me climbing a ladder, so I'll just stay on the ground. Wally's trying to get on, but he keeps blinking in and out on us.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, maybe he'll make it in a minute.
Well, you guys are nice and clear now, but you guys, I don't know why the voice keeps going. I can't hear you guys real good, but I have every time for some reason.
Yeah, you know, it seems to be worse for us than it does while it records to YouTube, because I don't know why that is. I was talking to Gerald about it because the other night I was suggesting maybe he needed a new microphone, but then I went and listened to him on YouTube and he sounded just as clear as the rest of us. So maybe when that YouTube server is recording it, it's closer. They've probably got a server in New Zealand or you know, that records it before it gets chopped up between there and North America. I'm only guessing. I have no idea. But yeah, there's just too much. I can't explain. And Wally, tell us how you are. You did some time in the hospital, bud?
Yeah, 3 days. It sucked.
Oh yeah, it always.
Hey, everybody, how we all doing anyway?
Well, most of us are pretty good. Gerald's got a broken arm, and
oh man,
my buddy Dave Fountain over on Cox Engine Forums in the hospital having surgery today. Somebody knocked him off a ladder and he did a involuntary split and screwed himself up pretty bad. Men aren't designed to do splits, only ballerinas.
Oh,
So that's gotta hurt. So, but I thought I'd had a bad week, but I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut now because there ain't no need for me to. Y'all got me beat.
So Wally, what were you in the hospital for?
oh, Steve, from the one night in Reno when we were staying in that motel, those beds were so bad. It just sucked bad. And I
thought maybe you got one of the motels and you were chasing the women around and tripped and fell.
Man, I wish.
Or one of them caught him.
Killer crab.
All last week I didn't feel very good and felt like I had a lot of pressure right in the middle of my chest. So last Monday I went to my regular doctor and I was telling him about it, and he says, "Why are you even here? You should be up at the hospital in the ER." And he says, "That's where you're going." So anyway, I went up there and I didn't know they was even going to keep me, but they was looking at me and they said, "No, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here." So anyway, they did a catheter stress test on my heart. And it's really weird because, they used to go in your
groin.
In your groin through an artery or a vein there. Well, anyway, I don't know if you can see this, but right there is the needle that they put in the tube and everything that goes in and takes a picture of your heart and all that. Well, anyway, they went in and measured all the different chambers of my heart and looked it all over and put the dye in it and all that. And the doctor came back after that and he asked me, he says, "Well, why are you even here?" And I said, "Well, because it feels like I got a brick sitting on the middle of my chest." And he said, "Okay." So anyway, my other doctor, she came in and she says, "Well, we found out that your heart is really good. You have what they call hypertension in one chamber. And the pressure in one chamber was way high. It was way high." And I said, "Okay, so what's that from?" And she says, "It's from your lungs." Well, I've worked in smoky buildings for 40 years, in welding and industrial stuff, and between the dirt and the dust, and I have allergies and I have asthma, and between all of the fumes that I've sucked up through the years. And yeah, my daughter, she texted me one night and she says, "Yeah, I imagine that all the glue and the paint that you sniff up making models doesn't help either." And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure you're right." So next Monday I go in for a CAT scan. They're going to check my lungs and make sure there's no blood clogs in there, And then I got another one later in the week to do something else. And then I have another CAT scan that day. And then it'll be a week after that. I have to go in and they'll give me all the scoop on what's going on with my lungs, because I'm not getting enough oxygen to my heart, causing that high pressure, and then they'll tell me what they're going to do to treat it.
Oh, well, good luck. I'm glad there wasn't anything that was putting you in immediate danger, like maybe first thought.
Yeah, and that's what they told me in there is, when they said, I told them, I said, "Do I have to stay here?" I said, "I brought my car here. I didn't bring nothing up here." And they said, "You're not going. You're a candidate for a heart attack with those symptoms." And anyway, I stayed there. They wouldn't let me out. And then when I wanted to come home, there's one medicine I take for pain that they didn't have up there. And so they switched that to morphine. I said, "Well, I want a low dose of that." And they gave me 2 units instead of 4. And then they'd have to give me this other stuff, whatever it is, when I take morphine, a lot of them drugs, they they make me really sick. So anyway, they put this anti-nausea medicine in there, and I said, I
Phenergan,
want some
probably.
of that. And
Phenergan, I bet.
yeah, anyway, that didn't bother me, and I did all right with that. But the problem I had the other day is they says, well, if you're driving, they says, have you got a ride? How you getting home? I said, it's me. And they said, you? I says, yeah, I drove up here and I'm going to drive home. And they says, well, let me look into that. So anyway, they came back. The plan was for me to come home yesterday at noon, and they says, well, we're not going to let you out of here at noon. You're going to have to stay until 1, until that has wore off some more to where you're in a position to where you can actually drive. So I said, well, that's no problem, just as long as I know I'm getting out of here.
I'm glad you're back. And we
Yeah.
got a new visitor, Ron Hess. Is it Hess or Haas?
Hi, Ron.
How you doing tonight? Glad you finally made it in. I know we've spoken on the YouTube side a couple of times, but you got here just in time for the gray-haired gripe session, which was sponsored by Hospitals of America. And so that's all over now. We can move on to aero modeling or something.
Yeah. Well, how you feeling, Gerald? You doing okay?
Oh, just a bit painful, but the most painful thing is not being able to work on my planes as easy. That's the hardest
I'll
thing.
bet. Yeah.
That's the biggest nuisance, but otherwise, it's time off to do my second winter build. I was saying to Rusty online, I'll use it to build that Nobler that my wife got me for Father's Day. So hopefully I can get a bit busy and do that. And I got a Super Tiger 46, so I can match it up to give it the
Nice.
hopefully the ideal match for that green box Nobler. So
Sweet. That'd be great.
Hey, Ron, let's do an audio test. Can you talk and let's see what your mic is doing? Because I hadn't really heard anything on your window yet. Can you hear me, Ron?
Blink twice if you're hungry.
Or raise your hand if you can hear me. Ron, raise your hand if you can hear me. Not you, Jamie. I can't hear Ron. He's looking at us, but there we go. Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Say something, shout something at the mic.
I like turtles.
I'm not getting anything from you on your microphone.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
No, me either.
You know, okay. Are you on a regular computer, a PC? Give me a thumbs up if you're on a PC. Okay, I can't hear anything, but if you're on a PC, mouse up near the top of the video window, and there's a settings gear, and first try this. There's a microphone second from the left on that top row, and click your mic off and then back on and see if that gets your audio going. Okay, it's off now. Okay, try clicking it back on again. Okay, I'm gonna click it on from here. Okay, how about now? Say something. Ah, darn it, we still got no audio. I had to manually turn your camera on when you got here too. Okay, next thing to try is mouse up there and click on that gear, and that's settings, and you see this, it's got your camera and your microphone and your speakers. Well, change to some different selection for the microphone for a moment, and then change it back to the microphone that you're on. And sometimes that'll fix it. I had that problem last week and thought it was something worse, but that fixed it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get off and I'll get back on a little bit later. I gotta change clothes and stuff. And
okay, hopefully by that time we'll get Ron's
Yeah.
glitches worked out. So
yeah, Samantha made homecoming court, so I had to walk her across the field and stuff tonight. And
Cool.
cool.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
So-
I'm going to see how the building and everything's going, Steve, but we can talk about that when you come back.
All right, I'll be back in just a minute.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay, Ron, what's going on now? We got any audio? No audio from Ron still. Dang.
It's computer glitches, huh?
I'm not sure what to tell you unless you've got unless you've got your mic muted in your sound settings in your computer. But those two things I told you to do should have fixed it. I'm going to turn your volume all the way up on this end. And okay, now your volume's all the way up. The only thing, okay, I see. Yeah, your mic just went on and off again. It should be on now, and we're not doing anything. The only thing I can tell you to do is try rebooting and rejoining. I hadn't got any other brilliant suggestions for you.
Man, y'all want to know pain? I'm about to tell y'all pain.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
The paint finish is looking pretty decent, and your dumb ass gets on some Monaco with the heat gun and it starts bubbling up.
All over or just in a few spots?
Just in one area.
Say that again, James. I missed it. I was on the texting to my daughter.
I was putting on another piece of Monaco on my wing of my Firecat, and you know it had a few little bubbles in it, so you know I popped some pinholes and you know was getting on it with the heat gun, not thinking, oh, you know there's Rust-Oleum like 3 millimeters away from it, and guess what it did? It bubbled up.
Oh crap! Yeah, I've done that before too.
I mean, it's in like a little like 2-inch section. It's a nice, pretty finish right there. It's all junked up. So I went ahead and just sanded it as best as I really could, and just sprayed the Rust-Oleum in a little cup and just brushed it on.
Ron's showing us a plane. Let's see what he's holding up. And oh, look at his Nobler. Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Give it to me, Ron.
Now, is that a kit? Is that a kit, Ron? Or an ARF?
I think he got lag.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Are y'all hearing him at all?
No, but I could just tell by his reaction time
Yeah.
that there's some lag in there because it's like 5 seconds after you ask him, and then boom, you know. So
Nice Nobler. My Nobler was one of the best flying planes I've had, but mine was just an ARF.
I do got two.
I remember reading that was your recovery Nobler, I think you called it. The
Oh,
abandoned
rescue
Nobler.
Nobler, yeah.
Rescue, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a
somebody
watched
had
the video.
tried to build it, and they had glued the hinges together, and they had glued the wing to the fuselage without even removing any monocoat. And nobody wanted it. It was up at Joe Knoll. It just appeared. Somebody just left it on the table, and nobody wanted it because of the condition it was in. So when Wayne, my buddy Wayne, comes home, gets in a truck to come home, somebody had tossed it in the back of his truck. So he brought it on home and said when he got it in his shop, all he had to do was just pop the wing like that, and it came right off since it was only glued to monocoat. And he cut all the hinges out, rehinged it, and fixed it up, and then flew it for a summer, and later gave it to me. And I got one video of me, a couple of videos of me flying that Nobler, and I actually did pretty well with that plane. And I finally bashed it. I was practicing my 5-foot pullouts and kind of did a really low one. And we've got George Gonzalez from Colombia joining us on the YouTube side. Hello, George. Glad to have you. Are you a fellow aero modeler, or are you just dropping in to see what we're all about here? I'll type him a greeting too. Hi, George. And that's George with a J.
I got two neat little toys in the mail this week. Two Tom Morris hard point handles.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Have you already been flying with hard points up until now?
I've never done it yet. I'm still using that I'm gonna call it the Wendy Arnowski style handle.
Yeah.
That's like this.
I use the Tom Morris cable handles, unbiased, and I like them pretty much. But I've got a hard point handle. Yeah, that's it. I've got a hard point handle that I haven't tried yet, but I'm scared that the tight connection to the plane is just going to exacerbate my mistakes rather than make them better. But one of these days I'll put it on when I don't have a contest coming up and see how I really do fly with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick with that handle I've been using for the Ringmaster till after the contest in a few weeks. But I may try one of these hard points on that Firecat, and a guy in the club's giving me a plane tomorrow. And I'm going to try one of these handles on that as well.
Now, does that hard point handle have any adjustments? Can you move the connector bracket in and out or anything like that?
Yep, it's got
yeah. All right, so that's fully adjustable too.
Oh yeah, I like this one. This one's finished. This one's been used, but he got it scalloped in the tips.
Yeah.
You know, for your fingertips. And I got another one brand new, not even finished. It's not been used yet either.
Yeah. Do you find yourself having to adjust the shape of those finger grips?
I'm not gonna lie. Hold it.
Okay, I know what Ron was trying to tell us. He said the Nobler's a $5 swap meet find. He had to recover it and hadn't flown it yet, but it looks good. It's a nice looking Nobler. Now, is it a kit or an ARF? Do you know for sure? Either way, like I said, my ARF was one of the best flying planes I've had.
Well, you put some nice pins on that when I watched you on YouTube. You had some nice flights with that Nobler.
I'm sorry, Gerald, I missed the last part of what you were talking about. You watched my Nobler flight on YouTube?
Yeah, I saw your one of your flights on YouTube that looked really good. It was flying really well. It was grooving along really nicely.
Sometimes I knock out a good one while the camera's running. Usually I catch a terrible flight, but I got a couple. Another one that I like is the one where Wayne is critiquing my flight, and he calls out the name of the stunt right before I do each one. And that turned out to be, I think that was with the Cardinal.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I got pretty good audio with you tonight, Gerald. Yep. Ah, here come the boys. Okay, George. Oh, George is joining us live. Great. There he is. Hey, George.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Give us some test talk. Let's make sure we can hear you all right.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, we got you loud and clear. Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us. Have you been watching on YouTube before?
Hello, Georgie.
Hey, George, have you been watching us on YouTube before tonight?
Yes, I saw you last time, but I have not the communication open.
Where are you located?
Now I am fixing my...
It looks broke.
What do we got there? Tell us about that engine. What is that?
I am fixing my old Super Tiger. Now I'm fixing my old Super Tigers because it's a Super Tiger.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be a popular engine among the experts. And I think I do not have a Super Tiger yet. I've got plenty of Super Tiger needle valves, but I've never had a Super Tiger engine. I'm still flying LAs and FPs pretty much. Okay.
Well, nothing wrong with those LAs and FPs, man.
No, but some, you know, what they're famous for is running great all the time up until it's time for an official flight or a camera run, and then they'll start acting up for a flight. So I think the Super Tiger's claim to fame is that it's consistent from run to run to run all day, every day.
I don't know, man. Ever since I put that Uniflow for my LA 25, man, it just hums. Every flight hums. So
yeah, my son's got that LA 46 in his smoothie, and that thing never misses a beat, man. That's the smoothest running engine. And it goes, and you get blap, blap, and then you get about 10 seconds after that, it's out of gas, and you're landing your plane.
Yeah. Yeah, mine flies right up to the end with no warning, except for just a little burp in the last lap. But that's more in your plumbing than it is in the engine itself.
But it sure runs good. I've got a FP2, a couple of 40s, and they really run good.
Do the 40s weigh more than the 46s?
You know, I really don't know. I've never put one on the scales to see.
If they share the same crankcase, a lot of engines do weigh less when you bore them out bigger.
Yeah.
The FP is about 50 grams lighter.
It's lighter?
Yeah, by about 50 grams, the FP. It's about 50 lighter than an LA.
All right, George brought us another plane. Let's see what you got there, George. And Charles Carter drops in.
Here I am.
All right. How's the wife and family, Charles? Is wife better?
She's doing a little better. She followed up with her primary doctor, and he's not exactly sure what it is, but he thinks it's more vascular than anything else. And so he recommends her to ice it and to massage it, and then, you know, follow in 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay. Well,
did he say to massage the breasts?
Yeah, you got to do both of them at the same time.
I don't need a prescription for that.
You got to do both of them at the same time.
Only advice. That's all you need. Just advice.
Charles, we don't have any video on you.
Oh, really? Okay, hang on.
We've had a couple of audio-video problems tonight. We had Ron Haas joined us, but he's dropped out right now because he didn't have any audio. I'd rather have audio over video if you can only have one.
Yeah, right.
I wish it was like that.
Hey, Charles, go up to the top and turn your camera off and then turn it back on. That usually fixes my problem.
Okay, I'll try that. Here we go.
There you go.
There you are.
Sometimes that happens with the audio too. I was hoping that's what was wrong with Ron, but we never could get Ron going. We had his face, but we couldn't get any noise out of him. But he did show us a pretty cool Nobler. He bought it at a swap meet for $5 and recovered. Pretty one.
Oh, wow.
And Ron's been one of our YouTube hangers out for a while, but tonight was the first time he came on live, but evidently got a bug to work out.
I haven't seen a Jorge before. Hey, Jorge.
Hadn't seen what before? Yeah, George. Is it Jorge or George? I've been calling you George.
I don't know. What do you go by?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Doing well. What you got there? Twister?
All right. Oh, that's a flight streak.
Flight streak? Very nice.
Yeah, looks good.
I love those. Those are fun flying planes. It's just hard to find a place to put a fuel tank on them.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
that's got a longer nose.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
longer
that
nose.
Regular.
looks like it's got a long nose on it.
Yeah, that's not a regular flight streak.
This is a mongoose.
It's a what?
This is a mongoose with a new nose.
Oh, mongoose?
Okay.
Mongoose.
I don't know that one.
Okay. Pardon me
Um,
while I eat.
George, do we
Nice.
call you George or Jorge?
Anyway, I don't care.
Okay,
I like George. It's easy for me.
we'll go with George.
All right, George.
Mongoose with a new nose.
Hey, George, where are you at?
Jorge, it's okay. Or George.
Okay, where's your location? Where are you?
I am from Medellin, Colombia, South America.
South America. Okay,
Oh, right on.
Medellin, Colombia, South America.
Well, great.
Oh,
all right.
Man, that's awesome.
We're getting a great international audience. The biggest problem we have with the international audience is the audio. So I don't know why that is, but we've been kind of tinkering with that for a while. I think it's the distance between servers, because when we go back and watch the rerun on YouTube, everybody's voice is clear, but when we're live here, it's more broken up and hard to read because you've got a pretty good delay. We can see you talk and then wait a minute and then the sound comes right behind it. So that's one way we'd like to get away from this Google Hangout software, is to get rid of bugs like that. But the software we have found has policy problems with YouTube, so we've had to delay going online with the new format.
Yeah, I watched last Monday nights. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday when I got home. Must have been yesterday. I watched it and I wish I would have been able to be on. There was some things I think I could have helped you with.
Yeah. Yeah, you usually got some good information for us. Now, Minnesota Mike, after last Friday, contacted me and told me that he knew one of the mechanics from I think it was the Strega at Reno, and had invited him to come join us. But since then, I hadn't heard from Minnesota Mike, so I don't know. That would be pretty cool if he could get one of those guys to come in, because we had talked about a few things that he said weren't quite on the same page. So maybe we can get the scoop on the Strega. I believe it's the Strega that this mechanic friend of his works on.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minnesota Mike's been out with some personal things or something like that. He just emailed me a little bit ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's not in the hospital like everybody else has been. Seems like we've had a rash of hospitalized friends. One of my guys from Cox Engine Forum, just got out of surgery today, so I'm hoping he's okay. But I'm not going to bother him with a phone call right now. I know how hard it is to take visitors and calls when you're laid up in the hospital.
Well, George, that's looking good, man.
I hadn't gotten a thing done on the Cardinal. Well, I haven't gotten anything I can show done on the Cardinal, but I've been going through the booklet and making sure that I'm not doing anything ahead of time that messes with something and makes me backtrack and redo anything. Right. I'm famous for doing that, getting excited and working too fast and then finding out I just covered up something that needed to be done already.
That's a Brodak kit, right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, those, they have some good instructions. They keep you going right in flow with where you need to be.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I wish the pictures could be more clear.
Yeah.
But I got yet one other idea on stiffening the torsional twist, and came from my own flying buddy, Wayne. He said to bore a hole all the way up from the bottom through the fuselage and deep into the rudder and insert a piece of 1/8 carbon rod or carbon tube, and that he thought that would keep it from twisting in the torsional traction. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that I think could help.
Boring a straight hole through those two parts to mate them up might be the biggest challenge.
Well, you have a drill press, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, if you set that up on a drill press to where you're, set up your body on that where you can clamp it up and put a tri-square on there, it's straight up and down.
Yeah, you're right.
You should be able to drill right through that and have good luck with that.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking too, or hand drilling it. I can usually hand drill a straight hole, but that's a pretty deep hole to drill. We're probably talking a 6-inch deep hole when you compare both sections, the rudder and the fuselage.
Yeah, that's as long as that is. I think I'd definitely be doing it on the drill press. Maybe you're right. Middle doing that.
Maybe you're right.
Just go slow and easy, Rusty. You can do it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one of Gerald's youngins. How you doing, bud? What you got in your hand there?
Very well. Well, it's my yellow thing. I've done a bit more work on it.
Nice.
Those yellow planes are complex planes to build, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I've been doing progress daily, and
now, is that
hopefully next time I might have the covering on. I don't know.
Is that going to be powered with an engine, or is it going to be rubber powered?
Rubber powered.
Yeah.
That's going to be
fun. A lot of y'all have done that I never have, other than playing with the dime store American Juniors. Ron Hass gave us a message. He says, sorry he couldn't get his mic to work. He's back on YouTube watching us. Okay, Ron. Well, we'll keep you in the conversation the best we can over on YouTube.
Yeah, hopefully you can get that worked out.
Yeah. Here's another.
Yeah, you take the space next.
Look at that.
Sweet.
And yes, you know that show I was talking to you about. I now have talked about what my plane's called, Chuck.
All right.
Right on.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, boy, it's got a big wing on it.
Yes. I was originally thinking of a skull, but when I looked at the eye, I thought they're too big, so I didn't draw an owl.
Well, that's a good job.
That's got a nice wing on it. That ought to really catch some air. You could make it as heavy as you want it and still fly.
That's true.
Yes, but there's a few touching up things that we have to do. Like, there's lots of gaps in the colours and it is bright, so we have to darken it up and patch out all the white bits.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do fuel proof the next, aren't we?
Yep.
Fuel proof, then the motors can be bolted on.
Yes,
So
it's
what motor are
really
you
ready
going
to
to
go.
put What
Is that a
motor are you
scale?
gonna put?
Is that a scale model of a particular real plane?
No,
No, it's just a Sherman's.
it's an SL Sherman. It's a locally produced kit.
Is the whole bottom blue? Can we see the underside? Can you show us the bottom of it? Oh yeah, I love that.
Not really much.
Oh, very
That's how my P40 is, blue on the bottom. I think that looks so cool when it's going through a wing over.
Yeah.
Yes,
Really?
Your P40 looks nice like that.
Yeah.
Your Kitty Hawk, I mean, yeah.
yes, and I bet you wouldn't even be able to see it from the ground. You just think it's like a black object.
Yeah, just the sky.
Black things, and and if I have to put a little bit of white, then
Yeah.
The contrast.
yeah.
Very nice.
You'll have fun flying that.
What kind of paint is that?
Nice job.
So are you two boys learning to fly any pattern maneuvers yet?
We're trying.
Yeah, just letting the climb and dive.
Old time stunt. Okay.
We're trying to pull out of accidents and stuff where possibility.
And I've shown you how to do loops, and you're starting to learn doing the basic stunts.
Great.
Yeah, wing angles. But yeah, Otto was mowing the flying site, and he's got the mower stuck in the drain.
I wish I would have been able to start when I was a lot younger. And it was only 3 or 4 years ago that I even knew that the stunt existed, and so I'm kind of behind the learning curve now. But I'm gradually getting better. Every time you fly, you get a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
Hey, come on, James.
Sometimes I get
Some of your
worse.
videos, they are great.
Maybe every
You're
time.
talking about me. All I did was agree with Rusty, and y'all asses are laughing at me.
Oh, I see. We got George back.
We might head off now for afternoon tea, and I might come back on later after I get the ride-on mower out of the drain. I'll come back on later if I've got a chance. So I'll say goodbye for now. Or,
Bye-bye, thanks for all the
Alrighty.
Hey, we'll see you guys.
All right.
See you later.
New Zealand's over and out.
Bye, dudes.
Ding ho.
Florida man. How you doing, Terry?
Hey guys. Yeah, I had trouble getting on. It was weird.
Yeah, we've had a few glitches tonight. We've got George from Colombia, South America on with us.
Oh, hey George.
Hello,
Yes,
how are you, Terry?
Very good, sir. Welcome to the group.
Yeah, George's audio is delayed, but otherwise clear.
Thank you very much.
Terry.
Oh, I saw it while I was trying to log on. Really nice kits. Nice
Yeah.
children, man. Just beautiful.
Hey, Terry, I was down in my basement taking inventory of my kits down there. You know, a while back I mentioned that I've got some SIG kits.
Yeah.
And we was talking about that SIG Magnum.
Yes, sir.
And anyways, kind of like you might have had some interest in a Magnum.
You have
Well,
one?
guess what? I have 2 in the box.
Uh-oh.
This is what I propose.
Okay. Hey, Charles.
Hey,
If you want to build one in our winter build-a-thon thing, I'll build the other one. And we can kind of go along together, and I think that'd be a fun time.
All right, but I would certainly compensate you for that kit. So let me know.
Well, kind of, I was thinking if you wanted to go 175, that'll pay for shipping and everything. I'll send it to you.
I think that's very fair.
And that's a good deal on that. It really is. And it cost me $25 to send it.
No,
I've got one in the box. I haven't even opened it. And I'm not sure, but I think it's still in the factory plastic.
Well, it's mine. I'll, go ahead and you've got my email. Just shoot me your address and.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
sure
do
you
that.
don't do debit cards, but I'll drop a check in the mail, money order, so you can cash it right
That's funny.
away.
That's fine, no problem. And then I'll get it right on its way over to you, and then we can kind of build them together through the winter as we go. And I think we could really have some fun with that.
Yeah, well, I've got I finished the fuselage on the Cardinal. I've got the carbon in it similar to Rusty's, and I laminated that up. It's in the house where I can build in my house on my drafting table, but I can't. My wife made me promise not to shoot any video in there. Whatever. Anyway, but I'll have it. But yeah, we can do that, and I've also got the fuselage for the Oriental finished. Or ready to laminate up. I've stretched it 3 inches and stuff.
Right. Really stretched an Oriental, huh?
Yeah, I shortened the nose and.
Have you switched to a 3-inch bell crank?
I haven't gotten there yet. This has to be trimmed down and they'll cut the slot out. Haven't gotten there yet. believe it comes with a 3-inch.
Oh, okay.
Whether or not I was going to put a 4-inch in there or not, I don't know.
Yeah, go for
Everybody
it.
that flies
Yeah.
an Oriental with a 4-inch bell crank is disappointed that it doesn't have enough control.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm playing with, it's the design of the plane. It's a classic airplane. Here, let me show you the empennage here. It certainly is a classic airplane, but like the elevator is very narrow. I mean, certainly Sparky's flown these. I mean, this Oriental design's been around for years.
yeah.
And
He just joined us.
yeah, I see that.
Thing on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, nice and clear. Nice and clear.
Okay, great.
So is that a road mic?
Sure, Mike.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds really good, Spargy.
Well, better than the camera mic anyway.
Yeah, it is.
I just thought I'd drop in and see what you guys were doing tonight.
Well, we
We're talking
started
about
off with a gray-haired gripe segment that was sponsored by Hospitals of America. It seems like we've had a bunch of guys with hospitalization events this week, and including one of my Cox Engine Forum friends who's not one of our visitors, but thinking about him too. And so I thought I'd had a bad week till I found out about all them, so I'm just keep my mouth shut. I can't compete with Gerald and his broken arm and Wally with his broken guts.
Wow.
Check this out there.
don't get old. Don't
This
get
is
old.
the flaps of my Oriental.
Oh, yeah. The Oriental, the flap gets real thin when it gets out to the tip. It's real thick at the root. And when I built these in the past, I started playing with that a little bit. And I think I'm going to go to the 1 inch to the 2-inch rule and just cut some new flaps for it.
Yeah.
Because I believe they're about 2 1/4 by 3/4 or something, or 1/2 inch, because it gets real thin at the tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even the elevator. Even
So
the elevator, I could go paddle down the bayou with it. It's so boat.
These
Yeah.
these Orientals, are they profiles?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can get either, but yeah, they make a profile and a full fuse.
You
Yeah,
know,
my
mine
son
is
got
so
one.
old. Mine's a Brodak, but the ribs are crunched die cut. I was amazed. I had to take my X-Acto board and sit in front of the TV and cut them out.
Clean them up and stuff.
Yeah.
Is this one you've had on the shelf for years?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. So it's all my fault.
Mine too. I just looked at mine. Mine are die cut too.
Yeah, you got the same thing. Well, listen, Rusty and I are going to get together on the wing because the Cardinal wing, I don't think it's difficult, but it's a nice wing, and maybe you could get some lightning, and
Yeah.
like I wouldn't do anything to sacrifice the rigidity or the strength, but certainly I think we can put them on a diet.
I watched Wendy build a Cardinal wing with a friend, and they knocked it out pretty quickly. Yeah, I think it's a really nice wing, and the wood in this kit is just superb. So I think
mine is perfect.
really
Yeah,
well.
mine's perfect.
Yeah.
Here's some advice for you on that Cardinal kit. Punch out all the ribs that are die cut or whatever. Get some good wood, trace the ribs out on some contest wood, cut new ribs, because you can't build a light airplane with those crappy.
Yeah,
crushed
yeah,
ribs.
on the Oriental. Yeah. I was just thinking about that.
Well, the Oriental.
But our Cardinal kits, the wood in the Cardinal kits is very good. In fact, I'm surprised it's so light for a factory kit. I mean,
Yeah.
Brodak really got some decent wood in that kit.
I think when you're using a laser cutter, you actually have to go a little bit lighter with the wood to get the perfect cut.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the Oriental's a straight leading and trailing edge, right?
Yeah. So it's a real easy wing, but I
Yeah.
think Sparky's idea is really, I like cutting ribs, and I stack cut them, and I like cutting a bunch. And then when Christmas rolls around, I give them to. I've got some RC guys that are so close to getting some control line planes. They are so close.
They've gotten fascinated with it, huh?
Yeah, I got to fly today, and I'll tell you, it was. God, I just love it, man. I mean, you guys know that's why we're here, but I just love it.
Yeah.
I wish I was back there to help you out, man.
Oh, it was great.
People forget how much fun control line is.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, man, if you ain't
I was
smiling.
all alone, but when I finished, I got 7 flights in on 3 planes. I flew the Buster, which I've flown before, but I've got that newer tank on it. And then I've got the Nobler with the 40 Brodak in it. And I got 1 flight on that, but I was flying it on 70-foot lines, which I know are way too long.
Yeah,
I had like 62 or 63, right?
Yeah, I have 62 on mine, Terry.
Yeah, that's what I have on my notes.
The 12, I think it was
what do you have, Rusty?
I had a 60, but I was flying it with an FP35.
Oh, yeah. Well, it flew nice, but I didn't do too much other than some big wing overs, but it went right through the wing over. It just flew right over the top beautifully.
That's good. I hate a plane that doesn't have any confidence or authority going through the wing.
Yeah, that's my test. That's my personal test.
Yeah, usually when I'm testing a plane, when I get it straight overhead, I'll pull down on it a little bit and then let back up and see if it'll tighten itself back up just to see how much authority it does have.
Yep. But it flies good. I'm going to get a different handle for it. I want to take the lines and narrow the lines a little bit.
You going to be in Huntersville on the 20th?
I'm going to try to.
Yeah, okay.
I've got, I've been working a little over 10 years on this project, and it looks like it's coming to fruition. So that's going to take priorities. But once my foundation is funded, then I'm clear to do whatever I want. So,
cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I hope you can make it. I'd like to meet you in person.
Yeah, I definitely want to see you guys and break bread with you and shake your hands and everything else.
Well, go ahead and make your reservation at the Super 8 Hotel in Huntersville, unless you've got some other place to stay.
No, I don't have anything.
And you can always cancel it right up to the last day, but tell them that you're with the model airplane contest and you'll get a discount. And it's not but 60 or 70 bucks a night.
Yeah. So it's Huntersville and the name of the motel was
Stupid 8.
Oh, okay.
Stupid 8.
Yeah, used to be a Ramada, but hang on just a second and I'll give you the phone number for it.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Actually, I'm a licensed travel agent, so I get some pretty good discounts at hotels. I might not get a discount, but they always upgrade me to a suite.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for the phone number?
Yes, sir.
704
704
875
875
1165.
1165. Thank you very much.
Repeat that again,
They will
Rusty.
fill up, but if they do, there's the Best Western down the street and several others.
Repeat that number again, Rusty.
Okay, let me open my phone back up. It is
704.
Yeah.
875.
704 875 1165.
Okay.
And I'll be in room 125. It's a corner room on the bottom floor.
I'll leave the light on for you. That must be the handicap room, right?
Actually, it doesn't have any handicap access other than being on the first floor.
So what day are you guys arriving? A day or two early?
I'll be there Friday late afternoon, probably about 5 o'clock.
All right.
Maybe 6. Depends on how dialysis goes in the morning. You never know.
Gotcha.
I had a terrible day today, but I'm glad I didn't have to go to Huntersville today, or I'd have probably still been on the way.
Hey, Daryl.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, there's Mr.
Hey,
Daryl.
Daryl.
Overleaf.
Hey, like the video, Daryl.
Thanks.
I want you to
Yes,
meet
sir.
our
They were
new
nice.
Hangout member, George Gonzalez from Colombia, South America, and he's just joining us for the first time tonight.
Buenos noches, carnal.
And this is Daryl from Canada, otherwise. And Daryl's YouTube name is Hogs and Plains, and he's got a lot of good videos. He's in the middle of learning to do the full pattern right now, and actually coming along pretty nicely.
I did the pattern yesterday.
You did a full pattern. You would have
Did
gotten the
that.
pattern points.
Ain't pretty, but it's done.
Yeah.
The ring rat was looking good too, Daryl.
That thing's a riot.
I got to build one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Gerald's kids plane reminds me of. That green plane he was showing us looks like kind of a ring rat with that big, short, fat wing.
They fly good.
Where did you get your motor for that?
Well, the half A one, the Ring Rat 100, I just put a Park 300 in it, which it calls for. The Stevens Aero model motors are actually supple motors, and they're a little more kilovolt for this 100. Yeah. So if you want to do 2-cell, you'd probably want to go with that. But the other Ring Rat, the 250, which is about a 09 size.
Yeah.
That one, I put a supple motor in because it's 2200 kilovolt, and I'm running a 2-cell LiPo. And I can actually put a KR governor in that one, and it works good.
Wow. Well, I have the kit that Brodak makes. They put together, the whole kit set up, the motor and the battery and charger and your timer and all that. I got their kit 049 size, and I built one of their Wacos. It's that bi-wing. I built a Waco, and I put that electric motor in the Waco, and this was 2 summers ago, and I still haven't even flown that thing. I'm kind of wondering how it's going to work out, so I guess I ought to get out there and fly it before the snow's flying.
Well, they start real easy.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what. That's one thing about electric.
Well, when they give you trouble, buddy, you're in for a good time.
But they don't have much compression.
Yeah.
No, they don't have a lick, do they?
A little tiny thump, 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 thump as they pass the magnets.
I noticed you have yours set to start spooling up before you make it all the way out to the handle.
What, the blue one or the yellow and red one?
I don't know. I just remember noticing one of them was already spooling up when you picked up the handle.
That's the I got those E-Flight timers on them.
Yeah, those timers.
And you can't set. The only thing you can set is how many minutes and the RPM, and that's it.
Yeah.
Where the other ones that I fly have the KR governor in them from RSM, and you got 30. You can set how much time before it starts, so you can walk out to your handle, stand there and wait, and it'll spool up and take off.
Yeah, I think Keith makes some pretty nice electronic stuff.
Mm-hmm. But for the half A size, I use these little. I don't think the KR governors work on the small stuff. Something to do with the poles or something. You got us 10 poles or some damn thing. Although I will try it just to be positive on that note. But from what I understand, they won't work on the little motors.
Didn't you set up Oriental Electric?
I have an Oriental Electric.
Yeah.
It started out as a Brodak Barf. The fuselage had a bow in its back. It looked like a 40-year-old horse. So I tossed it, and when I built the new fuselage, I used a Brodak electric conversion kit in it, just for shits and giggles, and it flies good.
Cool.
but you don't need, like I'm running an E-Flight motor and it's a power 25 and it's got gobs of power. Like if you put a power 40 in it, it'd screw you into the ground. It's not necessary.
Huh.
The 25 is plenty because it's actually got more power than a Glow 40.
Mm-hmm.
Have you dealt with any of the stuff that comes out of Hobby King?
Actually, I've tried their motors and their speed controllers with the KR Governor, and they work awesome, to be honest with you.
Good to know.
Yeah, we've used a lot of their motors in our gliders, the guy that do the electric assist. And they're certainly reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, they work good. They're, I've never had any trouble. I mean, they all probably came from the same pod anyway. They just put
exactly.
checker. Although I think the ones that RSM sells, they're actually made in Japan, and they got a real heavy bearing in them, so they're a lot sturdier than what you're going to get from E-Flight or any of those birds, right? And I think Brodak, from what I understand, has recently done something similar with their motor.
Huh.
Our friend from South America, what's his name again, Rusty?
George Gonzalez.
George, ¿tú sabes hablar en inglés?
A little English.
Little
Do
bit.
you remember me last time I
Muy
was in your...
He can hang in there with us. We got Minnesota Mike and Frank Washburn's in with us too on the YouTube side.
Geez, we got a full house. Just
Okay,
about.
let me hear what George had to say. George, where were you? What were you going to say?
Last time I was in your program 2 weeks ago. I was in your chat. Do you remember me?
No. Sorry.
I show you my one of my projects. Excalibur one. Do you remember it?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Thank you. It's a fabric covered with a super tiger.
Oh, nice.
And also,
Is that a banshee you got in the back there against the wall?
Looks like
this is another one project. That is a mongoose with a long nose and long tail. Also.
Yeah.
Nice trainer.
Because I have more than 30 years that I didn't fly a control line. I restarted to fly control line this year. And now I have 4 Super Tigers engines, and I'm building now the airplanes. I just have one flying, and I hope to finish this for the next week. Excuse me?
46 or 60?
No. This is 35. 35. Super Tiger. Also, I am welding this. This is a Nobler. Another one, but profile with a little different fuselage.
Nice.
I hope to finish. Possible to restart to flying because now I'm flying just the Excalibur.
Nice.
Very nice.
This is the Nobler wing, but I put less ribs to speed the time of building.
Yeah.
Less weight.
Less ribs, yes. The same shape, but less ribs. This is the Nobler wing with a little modification in fuselage.
Banshee fuselage.
Yeah, it looks like a banshee.
It's I took it from design from from a German radio control Moiler plane, but it looks like the Banshee.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my history, my new history in control line, because since long time I haven't flying. Also, I built this Virga.
Oh, that's cool.
From original plans, on original plans, to know how to build one, because I like the shape of this Virga, and I built this copy, but I don't know if it will fly or not. It's almost ready.
Not an ARF guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
with him.
where ¿Dónde eres?
Excuse me?
¿Dónde eres?
From Medellin, Colombia. Medellin.
¿Qué horas son Colombia?
9.
So you same time as us. Huh.
Same time?
Yeah.
Where
Well,
are you?
we're at 10.
Where are you now?
United States. I'm in Ohio right now, but we're at 10:59 or 49. But you're in Central Time, so.
I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so it is 10:49 p.m. here, Eastern Time.
Todos niños.
9:50 over here.
Yeah, he's Central Time.
Frank says he's fixing to join us live.
Colombia, they'll be just going into spring, won't they?
That's right.
Eternal spring, Colombia. Because we have all the climates near here.
You're above you're north of the equator?
Below.
Yeah. Near the equator. Very
Abajo para la equator, ¿sí? Abajo.
Arriba.
Arriba.
Ecuador es abajo. Nosotros estamos arriba.
So he's above the equator. Just above it.
Yes.
I used to ignore these Super Tiger V60s, and then Sparky said something about them. Now they tripled in price, and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
And
I saw that. I saw that.
How much are they going for?
Well, this one right now, well, that's Canadian, so that's like, I'll click on it. The last one I bid on, that went for $200 US.
Well, Daryl, if you can't get a Super Tiger for $75, you're paying too much for it.
You can't get them on eBay for that. I had a buddy of mine stick one right under my nose, new in box, and the bugger wouldn't part with it.
I've seen them go new in the box for $300, but
on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's way out of my league. Too rich for me.
I'm not going to pay that for. I keep going to. I was going to go to an auction here last weekend, but I'm not in good enough shape to do that drive yet. It's a 3-hour drive from here.
Wow.
I'm always looking for those engines because you pick them up for $20 at the auctions. That's about $4 US.
No way.
Well, just kidding. Yeah, it'd be about 15 US.
Is the Super Tiger 46 a good engine?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, I'm only asking because they got one at the hobby shop that I go to for like $25. It's got an RC throttle on it. And I mean, it turns over good. I mean, but
you can pull that RC carb off there and put you on an intake with one of their Super Tiger needle valve assemblies. You'll have a good running youth control engine.
You can take that carburetor off and sell it and have a free motor.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just about true. Yeah, absolutely.
Really? People pay that much just for the carburetors?
The carbs are beautiful.
Now, here's my next question about it, because I know nothing about Super Tigers. Is that like when I turn the prop, you could feel, I guess, the bearings, you could feel them.
Yeah.
Normal or?
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay.
Well, Like
If
you
you,
get
Yeah,
a
check
old-
the compression on it. I mean, you know,
Oh no, the compression's like stellar. Like it feels like it's new, but it looks like it's been through hell and back.
You
if you
can
buy a
crock-pot it.
ball bearing engine, you probably ought to just go ahead and get with Boca bearings and have
Yep.
a spare set in the drawer in case you get them dirty or something and score them up.
A buddy of my club's been saying for the last few weeks he's gonna go get the engine, and he never did. So if he don't go get it, I might just scoop it up since
That sounds like it's worth going for. I believe I'd pick that up, even on my low budget.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'd be a good plan, man.
not
Yeah, that's
the-
a good price,
not the-
James.
There's a bearing.
Yeah, but like I said, it used to be 40, now it's 25. It has a muffler on it, some odd looking muffler.
They got crazy mufflers.
Now, does it have muffler ears or does it have just a strap-on muffler?
It's
No, it's
got
muffler ears.
What'd you say?
Isn't that the strap?
does it have
I
a
think
box
it's
with it or
bolt-
just a bare motor?
I think it's a bolt-on muffler. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I didn't really
You know,
look
I
at it.
could grab mine. I've got mine new in a box. I'll grab it.
Yeah, they make them both ways.
They make them both ways, right, Wally? I have both of them, James. I have a strap-on and I have a bolt-on Super Tiger 46. But actually, I'm really falling in love with the LA 46. I think it's a better motor.
Yeah, we was
It
talking
is,
about
yeah.
them just a little bit earlier. You can't go wrong with a 46 LA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I
I was
had,
looking at it, just another big motor to have, or you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for $25 though, I'd buy a Super Tiger 46. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I flew my Nobler with both the Super Tiger 46 and the LA 46. Same props, same lines, and the LA 46 was better. But I did well with the Super Tiger 46. I had a pretty good score one weekend. I was pretty happy with that. So
you
That
flying
LA
that, Charles? You flying that that LA 46 with a remote carburetor or needle valve?
no,
You take
No.
that off and go right through your Venturi.
yeah.
First thing you do is you get rid of that heap of shit. You know, they're
Yeah.
garbage.
That remote needle valve stuff.
Get rid
That's
of
a
it.
later model box, Terry.
Yeah, it is. The motor
not
is from. I've had it probably 10 years. It's new.
Is that the G?
It
series?
is the. It is
I'll be right
Super
back.
Tiger G0122 GS40 ring.
That's the
Yeah,
latest.
that's not
series.
that's a bull ring. Not a
Bull
bull ring, but that's a later model.
They're heavier.
Yeah.
Could be.
The V46 is light. That's why they make a good motor, and they're very powerful.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the 60 I'm after.
I have 4 of the V60s,
How
and
much? Ron?
2 of the 46s.
Uh-huh.
Heard a vicious rumor you're gone to PA again.
Yeah, I got a PA now. That's what this
Oh.
airplane I'm building is for, PA 75.
You looking for a 51, Daryl?
G51?
Yeah.
I got 3 of them.
No, mine's a V.
Oh, you got
That-
the old V.
It needs some work, but if you want it, I just send it to you, man.
You know, I have a V51. I never ran it. I'm always curious how it worked because I have like 3 G21 51s, and one's a Randy Smith rework, and that was a beast of a motor.
That was a
Truly a
pervasive moment.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Frank. Oh, hi, Frank.
You know what that means? We've got our full complement of 9 people.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's
Frank
amazing.
just dropped out.
6, 7.
He'll be back.
Oh well.
He's in and out. It's computer issues usually. Well, so for a brief second, we broke a record.
Yeah.
No, but Daryl, if you wanted a 51, I'd just send it up to you if you want it. I mean, there's some work to do on it, but if you wanted a parts motor or one to work on or whatever, I'm not going to use it unless, Charles, you want it.
I actually have too many motors right now.
I'm in that boat. Yeah.
I am
Except the
too.
one I
But
want.
I appreciate it. I haven't even used the V51. I'm very curious how well they run. I wish it had muffler lugs though. They're strap-ons.
Tell you what,
Same size as a 60. Why wouldn't you just put a 60 in it?
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably lighter.
Yeah, I think the case is the same size, pretty much.
I heard the 56 is a really good motor.
There again, same size as the 60. Why not? Just
Yeah.
Well, I got that flying turd there that I was thinking about putting the 60 in. It's that top flight score.
Randy at the Nationals one year had a Super Tiger 60 that was turned into a 90. I should have bought it.
Wow.
Wow, we got a lot of metal out of that.
Yeah, that would have been a beast.
Wow.
All right, well, he talked me into it. Okay, you convince me. I'll take a running in at 35, all right?
I had a couple of Indians.
I love Indians.
That's all I got is Indians.
I love
You don't wear them out. You don't wear them out.
Made in Japan.
That's special.
A little bit heavier than the other ones, aren't they?
touch heavier. But they got ball bearings and stuff. They run smooth.
Mine are all bushing.
Or bush, yeah.
Yeah, I got an 09 and a 15. That's all I got for control.
Yeah. I guess my 15 is bushed, but the other engines, I've got mostly RC stuff, but boy, they're good. Those Enya 60 TV3s, I got several of those. Those are awesome for a glow motor.
It's that Turno V60.
Yeah, Frank's rebooting. He said he had a problem with his sound. He didn't have any sound, so we'll see if we can get him going when he comes back in.
Frank's getting a new pair of shoes, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, I didn't say hi to you tonight.
Hey, Sparky. No problem.
You look unusually awake tonight, Charles.
No, I'll start yawning pretty soon.
Yeah, like me here shortly.
I hear you.
I was out on the bike tonight, so I'm quite wide awake tonight.
All right.
There's Frank.
Here's Frank.
All right, Frank, come on in.
I got you.
Oh, I love it. Look at all that.
Now we got it working. Okay, so we got 9 now.
One, pretty nice crowd tonight, Frank.
7.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 10 of us.
7, 8, 9 of us.
Oh, no,
All right.
9, yeah.
Can't have 10. 9 is the maximum. All right.
We got a full house.
Get it.
Got a record finally.
Some people would say we don't have a life.
Yeah.
Yeah, baloney.
We got great lives.
I think so.
I got an
You know what's
update on
nice
the
about
flat
having
street.
9?
Oh,
We're
good
not
job,
gonna get
Oh,
Frank.
that looks good.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
You
that's a
painted
good
it
point.
finally.
Yeah, you're right, Sparky. I didn't think of that.
Boy, that's a
That's 9
nice
people
job,
keep
man.
these spammers out.
Thanks.
Is that the same one you've been building on for the last 2 years?
Yeah. It is.
Well, I'm sanding, and I'm sanding. DC 540 is great. I'm sanding a little more.
Hey, it's got color on it now.
Yeah, finally.
Wait. Hold on. Is it the Fly Streak?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a shoestring that's been hanging on the ceiling for 11 years in skeletal form, so don't feel bad.
I got like 3 projects going at the same time, so.
Only 3.
That's the only way I do it, man. I got to have
I know.
several things going.
Yeah.
Something setting up over here, and I jump over there and do that, and then I jump on the drill press, make some parts. You know.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm almost done this. It's time to start something else.
Yeah.
I got the wing done on my Eaglet.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah, I was going to ask you how that was coming.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Got the tail done too. I scratch built the tail. I'm froze up now.
It's stick built, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
What's that
work on
silver
my
and
other
yellow
half of the
plane
wing
he's got
this
there?
weekend to my project.
What's that?
My new airplane. I'm gonna build the other half of the wing.
Oh, okay.
You're doing that in the private, are you there, Sparky?
I'm doing. Yeah, this is my Eastern shop.
Stunthangar East.
Yep, this is the wing right here.
Yeah, I like the geodesic.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool.
Very nice.
Got off work.
It's light. It's 2 1/4 ounces here.
Wow.
Is that the lost foam wing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
Lost
nice.
the guy.
Who'd we lose?
I don't know.
Don't drop it. Probably wouldn't hurt it. 2 1/2 ounces, it can hit the floor and not break.
It'll just float.
Yeah, I still have the black to paint on the leading edge of this flight streak in the nose and do the cockpit somehow.
You going with black instead of dark blue?
Yeah, I took the blue back and exchanged it for black.
Yeah. When I did my baby flight streak, I thought it was, just looking at the picture on the box, I would have sworn it was dark blue, so that's the way I made it. And I kind of like it, red, white, and blue. But then come to find out, I picked the wrong color. Should have been
Who
black.
did we lose? There's only 8 on here now.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
wondering who disappeared on us.
Wally.
Wally.
Oh, yeah, Wally's gone.
Yeah. He comes and goes sometimes. I think his connection drops out.
Yeah, one of us dummies keeps forgetting to charge his battery and disappears.
Yeah.
That would be me.
Well, I thought you were talking about Steve.
No. 141.48 Yankee dollars, eh?
Sparky, is there any hope for appear in as our Hangout software?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as you can learn how to broadcast with OBS.
What about the monetization?
We have to put a description in just like you do for this. It doesn't carry over. So when you start an event, you have to don't mention appear in, just say our daily hangout.
Yeah.
And put in the description that you have for this.
Right, okay. Yeah, maybe we'll get on that next week and I can get a tutorial from you about how to use that. I like it. I've
It's a cool venue.
Up and gotten them to log in and just talk with me just for the hell of it, and it's so easy to get in and out. It's just not compatible with a lot of browsers yet. Chrome and Firefox and I don't remember, a couple of others are compatible with it, and they're working on others, but it's and with iOS, no browser will work unless you use the Appear In app, and then you can use an iPhone or an iPad with it.
Right.
I like Appear In. We can get 12 in there.
Yeah. And it's so easy. Nobody has to fiddle with a bunch of settings and
I'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Just got to have a browser that's compatible. So
It's nice how it identifies everybody too. It's real nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's everybody going to do this weekend? Y'all got flying plans?
I got rain all weekend. That's why I went out this morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that on the weather report.
Yeah. But I had a great day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good till Monday or Tuesday. I'll go out again.
I'm going to Atlanta. Our sons and his family are treating Holly and me to a concert. So we're going
very nice.
To the Lakewood Amphitheater, and I forget who it is. It's some kind of mellow guy. I guess reminds me of Dave Matthews, but and hell, the Foo Fighters are coming to Columbia in October. I think I'd love to see the Foo Fighters, but I probably can't afford the tickets. But I like the Foo Fighters a lot. Y'all familiar with them?
Yeah, I know.
Food fighting?
Well, the band Foo Fighters, but they sing good music. And some of them are from Nirvana after Kurt Cobain kicked the bucket. Some of the guys left over from that put together the Foo Fighters. And the drummer, I believe, had written a lot of music, and it was mostly just on his, on his floor and tables, and he gathered it all up and got the band kicked off. And they've worked hard and done real well.
Well, guys, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to get up and build tomorrow. I'll be on our pier end if you want to join me.
All right.
All right, that sounds good.
I'll be on the road to Atlanta tomorrow, so I'll see y'all back. I'll see you back here Monday night, if not sooner. And
all right, guys.
Gerald Wimmer just dropped us a super chat. That's nice.
He dropped the what?
Super chat.
Uh-huh. Let's see here.
Appreciate that. All right, Sparky. Well, have a good evening.
All right, guys.
All right, Sparky. Take care.
Have a good one. Good seeing you.
Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
Now we got room for that spammer.
Yeah.
We ever getting any closer to finding that peckerhead or what?
I don't know.
I don't think they can find them. They bounce those signals around, so you can't.
I've got the time stamps on every one from last Friday. I think that was Friday, and Sparky says that he might be able to hunt them down with that.
Oh, good.
I don't know what we'll do when we find them, but I'll let him worry about that.
In my internet, man, you spoof IPs and whatnot, you won't be found.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying.
Oh, but yeah, I didn't realize I was muted. The singer for Foo Fighters was the drummer for Nirvana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dave Grohl. He was the only one from Nirvana.
Oh, okay.
Big flight control line?
Was that?
Big flight control line?
No.
Somehow I doubt it.
You never know.
Oh, they do have a song called "Learning to Fly."
David Bowie flies.
I should play that on one of my videos.
Did David Bowie fly control line, or did he say he just flies?
I think he just free flied.
Okay. Now there was a control line plane built by one of the. I thought it was one of the Rolling Stones. I thought.
Oh.
I remember seeing an old image of a plane, and it was. I know the description of it. It said it was built by one of the guys in the band, and he flew control line.
All right, that's it. She's ready to fly. I'm done. Finished.
That looks good.
It looks good. Looks very nice. Did a good job.
Why don't you show it to me? I just saw the trim colors. I didn't really see the plane very well. Hold it. Wow.
That's a sharp looking airplane.
Now, what is it?
It's the Firecat.
Very nice.
I'm gonna bring it to the field tomorrow. I'm gonna get some more pictures of it. But by next weekend, it should be flying by next weekend.
You gonna video the maiden?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Good deal.
Got it built for an old time event in beginning November, but I may not be able to make it to it. But I'm gonna build it. I guess if it flies all right, keep it as for an old time stunt plane.
Hey guys, I'm gonna pop out and go in my garage and come back on, so I can kind of clean my workspace. So I can get a place to build my plane for this build-a-thon we're doing. So I should be back in a few minutes, hopefully.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Gerald.
And I'm coming home with another plane tomorrow from our local president. It's a foam wing plane called a Mentor.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's a good like little trainer. It's I forget what engine it takes. I have no idea. But he flies it all the time.
Little control line?
That's a flying thing. Was that?
Little control line?
Yeah.
I got one I bought 3/4 built. She's almost ready for laying down the dope. Just have to do the fillets on the wing and tail. And it's got a foam core wing on it.
In fact, I don't even think the wing is sheeted. I don't think the wing is sheeted at all, to be honest with you.
No? Mine
I don't think this one is. I don't know. He has a couple of them, and one of the other guys that flies beginner has one. I don't know. I've never really paid too much attention. I got video of him flying in my videos, but I just never really paid any attention to actually, looking at it. It just takes me out the blue. Like, hey, you want my Mentor? Sure.
Yeah, take it.
I ain't gonna say no to a free plane.
No, that's good.
So he's just tired of flying it, is he? Or?
No, I mean he's mainly flying a Cardinal now, a profile Cardinal. So he's been working with that the last few sessions.
So he's moved on.
What kind of power does he have in his Cardinal?
Man, I want to say it's a 46 LA.
Yeah, that's the common choice.
The problems he's been having is
that's what Rusty and I are going to use, I'm sure.
I know he was having some tank issues, but he uses a clunk tank on it, and I think tweaking his flaps. I want to say,
Yeah, I use a clunk tank on my Cardinal. I'm getting to where that's my favorite tank. They're not much to look at, but they sure are easy to deal with. They're not as sensitive about position either.
Yeah. Now, I'm thinking about doing the same thing. Just run pressure off the muffler to it. You ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, that's what I do. And I don't plumb it for Uniflow either. I just take, I use all 3 holes in the cap and bend 2 of them straight up and wire wrap them and solder them together. I use one for the pressure and one for filling, and then the other one for the pickup. And it works real good. It flies without changing the engine speed for the whole flight, and then just shuts off with maybe one or 2 burps on the last lap if you're lucky enough. But sometimes it just turns off without any warning at all. That's how my P40 does. It turns off with no warning. I got a metal tank on it, but it's an old, beat up looking metal tank, but it runs really well.
Yeah. I mean, I've been selling all my plastic model kits to fund for the contest, and maybe a Brodek P40, but bills keep getting in the way of all that fun stuff.
That's what happens.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not the only flat plane I want right now is just the Brodek P40 or ARF. Or I'm gonna say ARF. If there's any ARF I want right now, it's that P40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the electric one.
When you order the kit, do you specifically order electric or IC?
Yeah, you have to call them up to order them, and I asked them for the electric one.
I guess the motor mounts are different, but is there any other difference?
The only thing they changed was the nose to accommodate the motor.
Yeah.
And the battery, but if you got a fuselage for glow, it would go right on her.
Where's Terry? Is he still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Terry, I don't know how much you've looked at your Cardinal kit, but have you test fit the doublers? Just held them up to the nose to see how they fit and line up.
A little off, yeah.
Well, they look like they're it looks like after gluing them on, there's going to be a lot of balsa to cut off to bring it down to the size of the doubler. Is that the same with yours?
It's the same as mine. I had to take and use my Dremel tool to grind it out after I laminated it on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they didn't use a doubler from some other kit that just was close.
That's what I was wondering too, because it could
It's the
cover
only
a lot
flaw in
more
the whole
ground
kit.
than it does near the very front end. It doesn't cover very much balsa. You know, it fits perfectly and covers the engine, the maple bearers, but the top of it just leaves raw balsa above it. And I don't know how much of that to trim off and how much of it to leave. I guess I'll just shape it the best I can.
Yeah. Once you get your spinner on there, then shape to the
That's
spinner.
what dictates everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to be careful with this because I've never done one with a nose ring before.
Oh, easy. Yeah. Well, when you get to it, call me or we can meet on the, the Stunthangar place, or I've got my own place.
Yeah, we can do it on a pier end too.
Yeah. Well,
like
I've got my own pier in too, so we can go there too.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good because that had me a little worried. That just was strange.
Yeah, we'll get you through. That's easy.
Yeah.
But you want to get the motor all mounted up, and then I use like a little piece of cardboard, as a spacer.
Yeah.
And that gives me the perfect spacing and stuff because you want to allow for covering and paint. You know, and not that you're going to build much up, but you're going to get a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm in
the process. What'd you say, Daryl?
How are your doublers fitting compared to the plans? Like I usually use the plans to say where I am.
Yeah, it's
I held the doublers up to the blueprint, and the doublers match the ones on the blueprint. So I guess I'm okay.
Yeah.
They just left extra
go to
wood.
the wood. It's off.
Yeah, they just left extra wood on the fuselage. But
it's wood, so you can
I've notched
add on or take off, no problem.
Yeah, right now I've notched it for the tail wheel just to make sure that nothing back there interferes with whatever I do to stiffen it. Somebody gave me another idea about stiffening it, and I was saying that before you came on tonight, Terry, and it was to bore a 1/8-inch hole all the way through the bottom of the fuselage, up through and all the way deep into the vertical stab, and to run a piece of 1/8-inch carbon rod or tube up through that. And I don't know how much twist that'll prevent, but
I don't know. It'll
just
certainly stiffen it, but I don't think you need that. I think it's overkill.
I'm a little dubious about that too. I think I'm just going to dope it and tissue it.
Dope it, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Daryl, how's the weather? Do you get some of that warm weather like we did here in Michigan and stuff?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty nice here today. It'd be around 70 degrees.
Oh, that is.
There was 68 here. It got up in the 90s there last week.
Well, we were down close to 0 last week.
Our weekend's supposed to cool off here.
Same here.
But we've been in the 90s in the daytime and the 60s, 70s at night. It's usually, when I get out before sunrise, it's usually 72, 74, something like that.
Are you pretty much done flying there now for the year, or still? Yeah.
Most of the guys are. I'm not. I'm still going hard.
I didn't know if it got cold and windy or not there like it does here.
It gets cold and windy sometimes, but I mean, October you can usually get the whole month.
Yeah.
November it depends. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
October's a beautiful month here. Just clear blue skies, predictable weather.
No, we never have predictable weather.
Ours is less predictable than it used to be.
Yeah,
you're the definition of weather is the unpredictable elements of nature. That's the definition.
Yeah.
And unpredictable is it. Weathermen make forecasts. See, they don't predict, they make a forecast.
That's right. And there's too many variables that we just don't understand.
Way too many.
Into the models, programs.
Hey, Terry.
Yes, sir.
You fly the Voodoo. What fuel tank and not a bladder would work all right with it?
I use those rectangular 4-ounce tanks with the, I guess it's a Uniflow tank. But Brodacks, I believe, have them, but it's a. It used to be a perfect number 13 or 11, a number 11 tank. It's a rectangle tank, and I build it up. You know, Monday I'll bring my 2 Voodoos out. I've got my custom one, my larger one, and I've got the stock one. In fact, I flew the stock one today with a.
I bought some rectangular tanks. I cleaned out a bunch of perfect tanks. All he had, he sold them to me for like $5.
Wow!
And it's got them 4-ounce rectangular tanks, and I wonder what they used them for.
Well, that's what you use them for. They're great for the combat planes, and it mounts right into the wing behind the leading edge and stuff. You can get it built into the wing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have my combat planes out here right now. That actually, the couple of the airplanes I flew are still in the car because I just do the after run to the motors, and I left them in lieu of going again on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, because that's the only thing stopping me from working more on this thing is putting in a tank. That way I can sheet the center sheet because I'm not sure which tank to go with. And I'm not going to combat it, so there's no reason for
Yeah,
me to
no. Just, you want that rectangular tank. Well, here we've got a member with tanks on his hand. I'm sure he'll sell you one because that's what you need. Those rectangle tanks work perfect. The 4-ounce is the perfect size.
Yeah, he doesn't have to have the vent coming out the top and the bottom and then the pickup.
Well, all the vents are out of the top. You've got 2 side by side, which is the overflow and the vent. And then the feed tube comes out at an angle from the top of the tank, your intake. I'll have those here Monday. I'll show you what they look like. I've got a spare one.
Daryl's back with us. He looks like
Daryl's got the tanks. Daryl's got the honey load of the tanks. Man.
What are you sitting in, an RV, Gerald?
I'm sitting in the old John Deere tractor that way I can keep an eye on auto mowing the flying side. And I've got good YouTube reception. I've got good cell phone reception up in the tractor. The main thing was I keep an eye on auto because he got stuck in the drain before. It was a heck of a job pushing him out of the drain with one arm, but we got there. But it's flying site starting to dry out, so we're trying to get it mowed before the grass gets away on us.
Yeah, and it'll get away on you.
They're all too quick. Kikuyu, it's African grass, kikuyu grass. It's very hard to cut that we have here. The other grass, you have to keep mowing all the time, otherwise it gets away on you, and it tangles up in your lines too, the pastel grass.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know what Bahia is?
Yeah, that's what we have.
Grass. We got that on our Fort Jackson field, and also the congaree. And man, you can cut the grass, and it'll be good for a week, but that Bahia grows up overnight, and it's a real line hanger, too.
All that we need is a rain, and it grows.
Yeah.
They can mow it today, and if it rains tonight, by tomorrow afternoon, you can't fly on it.
Worse than kudzu, yeah.
I don't know what my perfect number. I knew I had perfect number 11. So I don't know if anybody.
Yeah, 11's the rectangle 4-ounce usually.
No, this is number 11 wedge 4-ounce.
Okay.
And the only thing I got in the rectangle are all 1/2 ounce.
Oh yeah.
And then there were number 5.
Anybody ever
1, 2, 3 of them?
Anybody ever use those cylindrical tanks?
I've had a couple back in the day, those copper ones.
Well, I was thinking of the plastic cylindrical plunk.
Oh yeah.
I don't see why that would be
these 1/2 ounce square tanks must be for half A or something.
Half A, yeah, those are great for half A models. Fantastic for half A.
I've never tried one of those yet.
But I got regular 11s. I got 21, 18, 15, couple ones. or 3-1s, 4-5s. If anybody needs any perfect tanks.
Wow.
But I just bought them because the guy wanted $5 for them or whatever. And
Yeah, you
figured that
made
was
your money
good.
on those.
You got a 5-ounce perfect.
4 ounces as big as I got.
Is it? Okay. I need to get 5 ounces in the twister, but it's hard to find one that'll fit because it's got to fit into a cutout.
Uh-huh. I
Brought
got
back
you.
the
I want a 4-ounce tank.
4.5 and 5 ounce.
A 4-ounce tank's a lot for a wing. Me being fat and slow, I don't know if it'll be all right.
Put it in the wing.
Yeah, it goes inside the wing.
Yeah, I know it goes inside the wing. I don't know if I can spin around for
Oh, well, you know,
4-ounce tank on a wing.
so you just load it with your syringe, which you can fly. You know, that's what I did today. My first flight, I only put 2 ounces in.
Because I got Brodak open right here, and it has a perfect rectangle tank, 2.5 ounce.
Oh.
It's got the 2 tubes coming out, and then you know,
That's
for the
it.
and the pickup, and then you got the angled one.
That's it. Same design. Yeah. Well, I like your John Deere, man. I'm a John Deere fan. You got the good tractor.
You think it's
Pretty good. The old John Deere, you can easily get parts for them. That's one of the main reasons why we got a John Deere. It costs more than a lot of the other brands, but parts are the good thing. That one's a few years old, but it does the job. Only problem is it's heavy and it pugs the ground up badly until it's about November here, and then it's dry enough to mow with the large 2.2 meter mower.
Gotcha.
Ooh. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. I got to wake up early and drive to the field.
Okay, Jamie.
All right. Good seeing you, Jamie. How's the baby, man? How's the baby?
Man, she's working my nerves.
I love it. All part of it.
Oh, yeah. But I'm going to bring my kids tomorrow.
Where do you live, Jamie?
Huh?
Where is it that you reside?
Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana.
Yeah.
You got duck hunting by you?
Man, I live 50 feet from a crawfish lake or a rice field.
Okay, that's it then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna record my pattern flights tomorrow, and hopefully, if I get off my ass,
we all look forward to seeing them.
Yeah, I always say I'm gonna make them and do them. I'll record and then I'll save them on my computer. I never touch them.
I take the camera out to the field and get so involved in flying that I just don't mess with it. I don't forget it. I just got better things to think about. I get kind of focused on flying and forget, and just drop the idea of the camera. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll record and whatnot, and I'll upload it to the computer. But when it comes time to actually editing and whatnot, I get lazy compared to how I was when I first started flying again.
Yeah, I'm always all excited around contest season and post all kinds of stuff, and then it tapers off, and I don't do much.
Oh yeah.
Charles.
So what happened with the other site there? That other streaming site?
We had problems with the monetization. YouTube revoked the monetization for the recordings we did, and so we stopped. But I've got to get Sparky to teach me a couple more things about the interface software, which is called OBS. And once we get that squared away, we'll be back to it. I was disappointed we couldn't just jump right in, but we got to have all of the YouTube stuff working first. It'll be back. I'm using it right now just to play with my friends to call them up, because anybody can jump on. If you got to have the right browser. It's not compatible with every browser, but if you got most of the common ones, Chrome and Firefox, for instance, work fine. But if you use iOS, you have to have an app on your phone or computer to use it. But it's in beta. production right now, so
well, at least what I like about this one is that I can go to a picture if I want to see what somebody's putting up, and click the picture, and you get a full size picture of that person.
Yeah, you can do that on
the other one. Yeah, the other one just as more people got in, the picture smaller.
Yeah, but if you click on one of them, I think it gets bigger. I don't know if it'll do full screen. I know it will, because I remember where the little button is. So yeah, it's different, but you can do that and get a full screen shot of whatever somebody's trying to show us. I wish I had the ability to lock everybody in on on the window I wanted them to see, but it does that on the YouTube recording, but it doesn't do it for y'all.
Oh, okay.
But we'll have it back soon, I hope. Sparky and I will work on it this coming week, and hopefully maybe by next week on Friday we'll have that other one working, because it does have better sound and picture.
Oh, then YouTube will start paying you for it or whatever.
Yeah. There's just a couple of hoops you got to jump through, and we didn't know about it at first. But Sparky's pretty much got it figured out. He just needs to teach me how to operate it.
Oh, okay.
It takes a third piece of software between YouTube and up here in order to make it all work. So it's a little more complicated for the host, but for the visitors, it's a lot simpler. So yeah, we'll have it.
Oh, okay.
Hey, any of you guys going to get involved with the Ringmaster, the annual Ringmaster-thon next weekend?
Yeah,
I'll be flying a ring that I'll probably fly with a TD010 on it.
Oh, that's
yeah. It hauls ass too. I got it on 15-foot lines, and it about spun me into the ground.
15 foot. Really? I love it. Yeah, I flew my Ringmaster today, man. It's a good flying airplane. That's the first one I fly after I haven't flown in a while.
Yeah, it's nice to have a warm-up plane, because
I love it.
If I'm going to do something stupid or clumsy, it'll be usually on the first flight or the last flight. But hopefully the first flight's not the last flight.
Yeah, I still got my Brodak ARF Ringmaster, and it's electric. I'll be flying that.
I used to take all kinds of planes out to the field, and nowadays I just throw one or two in the car and go.
Yeah.
So Charles, you in your shop now?
Yeah, I'm in my garage here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
It is quite a mess, I tell you.
Well, it's all part of it.
I'll get it fixed. I got you. I want to build a new plane. So.
Who's sanding?
That's Frank.
Again?
I'm going to keep it hitting the
You know what Sparky says always, you got to stand next to the sandpaper a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah, sanding's kind of like Zen. You just daydream and sand and try not to sand off anything that looks like an airplane.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of scary.
I think my next adventure is going to be on a Vector 40 ARC that I picked up from a fellow a couple of years ago.
That should be a good plane.
Is it already put together?
Yeah, it's almost ready to cover, right? That's ARC.
Yeah.
Excuse me, friends. See you
Well, guys,
next
I'm
time.
going to hit it. I'll see everybody Monday.
All right.
All right, good seeing you.
Same bat time,
Yep,
same bat channel.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, we're all going to be out of here in about 23 minutes, because I'm going to hit the sack early tonight so I can get ready for my road trip tomorrow.
So, Gerald, are you in a RV or what?
No, he's in a tractor.
In a tractor.
Yeah,
Oh.
old John Deere tractor. Yeah.
I thought it
it's
was
nice
a
to have
helicopter until I saw the steering wheel.
the tractor's nice and warm, and it gets good cell phone reception because it's higher up.
Oh yeah.
Those rednecks in England too, eh?
We're New Zealand. I'll walk out of the tractor and you can see what it looks like.
You gonna be playing that Tractor Sexy song there?
Gerald's
Big green tractor.
New Zealand.
Big green tractor. That's Georgia Florida line does Big Green Tractor, right?
Yeah.
Rusty? Yeah. Good song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the color, man.
That's it.
Yeah, I know guys that work there. Friends. That's a good company.
Yeah, we had a John Deere manufacturer here in South Carolina, but they promised to hire all locals and then brought all of their union employees down here and kind of screwed down the county that they moved into.
Where have I heard that before?
Yeah, they didn't last long either.
No.
Nope. You come into a small, tightly knit town like that, and they don't last.
That's too bad.
Not if you promise them jobs and then bring unionized employees down. South Carolina is kind of an anti-union atmosphere.
Alberta's the same, and for good reason.
Unions began for noble purposes, but then they spread mediocrity in their way.
Well, they're just another political parasites all they are now.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Actually, unions did not really have all that noble start, actually.
Mafia.
I'm with you, Charles.
Well, I don't know. I'm not as educated as I should be sometimes on the things I talk about, but I always thought it was for the protection of the employees with working.
No, it wasn't initially.
Not actually. Originally, yeah, it was a kind of a mobster thing.
Actually, it was with the emancipation of the slaves. All these slaves, some were pretty good artisans, pretty good plumbers, pretty good. Laborers. All kinds of craftsmanship, and so the unions actually formed so that get jobs for whites. That's how it initially started in the South, was just to protect. And they went to the employers and say, "Hey, we're unionized," and it was really just to keep the just to kind of save jobs. Only that's how it started.
Yeah, that's
originally.
how I understood it.
Yeah, I didn't know that till recently. So.
Well, that's the truth. Truth bears investigation.
I didn't know that.
That's right.
Yeah, receiving the purified white education in history that I got, I probably don't know a lot of things that I ought to know.
Come to Stunthangar, you'll learn shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, more than airplanes.
Intelligent people here.
Absolutely. You can't be dumb and be an aero modeler at the same time. Not a good one anyway. Wally's trying to get back in. There he is.
I think I need to fly that Oriental.
Yeah, get it out. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I had to drop out.
That's okay. Feeling all right?
Me, yeah, I had some company I had to take care of. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had company earlier this evening, and I looked at the clock, and I knew Rusty was coming on. I'm trying to say, all right, now let's move on. See, it's good seeing you.
Yeah.
See, it's good seeing you. My wife's talking to him. We go, get him the hell out of here.
You have your priorities right, Terry.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's the clubhouse.
Frank,
Miss
that, Frank, that
Yeah,
win.
boys club meeting.
Thank you. I just got the ailerons gapped. I still have the bevel in though.
All right.
Right on. Yeah, she's looking good.
What's the wing for?
Eaglet 50.
Eaglet.
I kind of thought it'd be something like that. Where
Nice
the
little
lead oats
plane,
go?
man.
What's that?
Where the lead oats go?
No,
They're right here.
I shouldn't have had that extra bowl of Asolios for breakfast.
there you go. There you go. So Wally, send me your address via email. I'll drop you that check. See if I can get it out tomorrow or Monday for sure.
Yeah, that's no problem. I'll get that to you when we get done here tonight, Jerry.
All right, man. Well, yeah, good.
Hey, I really look forward to doing that. I think we will really have fun.
Oh, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have a good time doing that. Yeah, I thought I had 2 Mustangs down there, and I went down there the other day. Well, actually, this was last week when I told you I was going to have an inventory and tell you what I was going to build. I think it was for Monday. Anyway, I went down there and I was looking, and I went, wait a minute. I used to have 2 P-51s. I've got one that's ready for paint. The other one's in the box, and I got looking at the other 2 boxes over there. It's like, those are both marked Magnums. Holy crap, I got 2 Magnums, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I can let one of them go easy enough to where I can still, my kid won't let me fly my other one that I got built. He said, Dad, you're not flying that airplane. It's too pretty.
Yeah.
Birdie can be fixed.
Minnesota Mike says Gerald's tractor is sexy. He must have written that a while ago. I just noticed it.
Oh, it's funny.
A natural born mechanic when you see one when he thinks tractors are sexy.
I love it.
I got a sexy tractor picture. I'll show you. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can find it. It's in my desktop backgrounds.
I got a whole bunch of little teeny tractors or Caterpillars over there in my carryo. I love them things. I'd be building tractors, plastics if they had them. And they do have a few of them, but man.
Not many, though.
Yeah, they're hard to get a hold of. And there's only one that I know of that's built here in this country, and I can't even think the name of it, but I've been watching it on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
It's a backhoe unit, and I might have to get one of them.
Yeah, I bumped into a guy the other day at the hobby shop who was building one of those. It's a company in England that makes these tank models, and they're huge. You got to almost have a trailer to run this tank around. And the kits are real expensive, and you got to get on a list, and they send the kit in a series of, I guess, as they complete the build. And he's got a World War I tank he built, and he's got a Tiger that he bought from somebody else. But he's doing their newest build, and I think it's it might be a T-33 they're doing or something. I know they did a Sherman, but they're these huge tank models, and they're all out of metal.
Do they put motors in them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remote controls?
Yes, RC, yeah.
Oh, that'd be neat.
You know what I'll do is I'll find the video on it and send it to you so you can look at it.
Yeah, I looked at some of that other stuff you sent out, it was a week or so ago.
Yeah, did you like the one on the tool cart? That's the one I wanted to get to Rusty.
Yeah, I did.
Adam Savage's tool cart. Really a cool build.
It is.
Yeah, I never have looked at that site. I don't have enough time for watching YouTube, but I need to definitely look that up. Oh, here's my sexy tractor picture. Okay. Yeah, that was, yeah.
You bringing it up there, Rusty?
F and 3, 2, 1, boom. There you go.
That's my kind of tractor.
That's a nice tractor there, isn't it?
It's a nice tractor. I don't even notice the woman. I mean, it's,
yeah, nice and tall. Yeah.
I thought I'd never get my wife to pose for that.
Wow.
Very nice.
That's a classic. Yep, that's a classic.
So believe it or not, I think that's an old Farmall tractor, isn't it?
I have no
You know,
idea. I wasn't
It
looking
came
at
from
it.
an antique tractor website.
I don't see a tractor.
Yeah.
I don't either.
It'll look behind the obvious.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, she's leaning on.
yeah, it's right behind my wife.
All right. All right, Spark. All right, Rusty. That's right.
I love it.
I really like Gerald's pictures. He's really got some dang nice ones.
Well, luckily my wife's quite agreeable to be having to be inspired by some nice art in the background anyway.
Yeah,
you go.
your
I gotta
wife's
get my
very
charger.
understanding.
She's quite good. She said she might even come on Tuesday. It'll be Monday night for you people, but I said, come on, you've got a week off work for the kids are on school holiday now. And she said, oh, maybe you can come on and say hello to everybody on Stunthangar anyway. So
Yeah,
with a bit of luck,
that'd be awesome, man.
yeah, she can talk about a couple of her morals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Or no, I'll have to get her to hold to my statement, so that gives me a bit of bargaining power with her to persuade her to come on anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the boys like coming on and talking about their planes. Yeah, it helps inspire you if you can talk to them. If you can talk about what you're doing, it always makes you feel better about it. You're not in a bubble of your own. You're communicating with others, and it always makes building a lot better because you know you can speak about your problems too if you come up with issues.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, well, Sparky, he's really good for coming out with fixing problems. Rusty's good at it too. Charles, everybody is.
Yeah. You know, I have my wife. She actually listens to me, and it's amazing to me because we have some friends pull up, and I just kind of started that I fly control line, I do acrobatics, and next thing I know, my wife starts talking about how I have a stooge, and she was saying all the maneuvers I do, and I couldn't even get a word in. I looked back at her and said, "You need to get your own plane. I need to get." No, really, but my wife, she really knows a lot about stunt. I mean, she knows a lot about the planes. It just amazes me how I talk to her about things, and she remembers everything I've been talking to her about this stuff for like 14 years, and that she really is not an accomplished builder, but she does know a lot about it.
Yeah, mine's pretty receptive to it too, and it's good. She's been a great support at contests because I really don't have the stamina to go to a contest by myself and lug all the gear around and do everything. And so, man, she gets into it. I think she, realizes too that that's part of what's keeping me alive. And so it makes it important to her. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Well, you've got a winner, man.
Yeah,
you've got a winner there.
Yes, you do. Yes, we do.
They're hard to find. I was lucky to find one, so I'm hanging on to her too.
Yeah.
So here,
I'm probably gonna teach her how to fly. Just I'm always having.
We had our 33rd anniversary this July.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
33 years. That's unusual nowadays.
Yeah,
certainly it is.
I just have 20 years.
Here, Wally, you guys
sir.
check this out. Can you see this?
Ooh, nice.
AMI 109 power slope scale. It's a glider. It's a slope soarer.
Is it foam?
No, well, it's foam core wings that are sheeted over, and it's a fiberglass fuselage. 2 channels, elevator ailerons.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Now, this is the plane. This is the plane before the storm came. We had all that heavy wind. Those squalls come through. So we run down to the beach, and I fly it down at the beach. Well, I usually fly when it's windy and the skies are real blue down there. Well, it was real gray, and I threw the plane off the slope, and it disappeared.
Disappeared, yeah, I bet it did.
I mean, it disappeared with the gray bottom and everything, and the camo top. It's like I had trouble keeping up with it. It just, you know,
it's hard enough in good conditions to keep your orientation, because you can honestly not be able to judge which way it's flying or whether it's right side up or upside down. That's why a good color scheme helps with RC.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I do, Terry, is I would probably paint a yellow stripe underneath one of them wings.
Well, I'm going to put maybe the yellow squadron leader nose on it.
Oh, that'd be
That'll
cool.
help
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's why I brought it in. But it,
Yeah, that looks like that'd be a fun deal.
well, I've done real well with that airplane. I've won a couple static displays, and of course, it flies beautiful. Flies beautiful.
That's nice.
And we fly half pipe. Do you know what that is? When
Half
we fly?
pipe?
Yeah.
What's half pipe?
Well, it's when you fly across the slope in front of you, gaining speed, and then when you get down to the end of your turnaround, you pull straight up. You let the plane run out of of speed, and then it'll just do a gentle pinwheel on the wing and come straight down. And then you
Right.
fly back the other direction, and you do the half pipe on the other side.
Oh,
And
I
by
see.
doing this, you can gain speed, and you get higher and higher on the ends, gaining speed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you get 4 or 5 gliders doing this at once. It's awesome. It is so awesome.
Wow.
We actually, sometimes the gliders will touch in the corner. They'll touch each other, but you're going so slow it doesn't really hurt anything.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks like a fun hobby.
Yeah,
Slope soaring too looks like an absolutely exhilarating hobby.
Yeah.
Who is it, Wally, that was talking about slope soaring in here when you first started coming in with us?
No, I haven't ever done any of that.
Somebody was, I don't remember, but the planes have to be built amazingly strong to stand all the stresses. That's really punishing to the airframe. But man, they go and they fly faster than any other RC plane.
Yeah,
that there is, I think.
The speed limit is held by a dynamic soaring glider. It's over 560 miles an hour.
Man.
No motor.
That is truly amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I've had this plane up into the 90s because we've got a radar gun. One of the guys has a radar gun. That's not anything special, really. That's really not anything special. But normally it flies at about 40, 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's zooming for a little airplane.
Yeah. Yep.
What you got going, Gerald?
Gerald's going there.
My son Otto is mowing close to the tractor, so my nice, quiet, comfy spot is being interfered with by the ride-on mower. So as soon as I hop out of the tractor, I'll lose cell phone coverage and it'll cut again. So hopefully he'll drive away a bit, and we'll quieten down a bit. Oh, there we go, going behind me. So we're just trying to get the field all nicely cut so we can get a bit of mowing done on the school flying break, or the school holiday, which I think of as the flying break. But,
there you go.
It's quietening down a bit now.
It's nice and green there, Gerald.
Yeah, normally it's always green around here. It just gets very wet, very, very stodgy and very wet. And you have to really wait till close before Christmas before it really dries out, and then it stays dry until about April, and then it turns back to sludge again.
Oh, yeah.
You can't really get any heavy machinery on the field. It's just too soft. But yeah, it's always hard too because the machinery stuffs up the surface and you roll it and try and get it flat. But every time it goes through winter again, if you pug it up or damage it, then you've got to try and get it even
smooth
again.
it out. Yep.
So it's just always a challenge when you're flying on a flat but wet site. But the place we've been flying, Bruce McLaren Park in Henderson in Auckland City, has got a beautifully drained sports field, and it's pretty good all year round. We were able to get on there and fly most of the year. It's just when it gets too windy. But I suppose it would probably be the same as those southern areas in the States where you're probably able to fly nearly all the year over.
Yeah, that's where I live.
Yeah, we can fly here in Florida year round as long as it's not raining. We
Yeah.
don't have a hurricane.
It's almost always windy in Florida, I bet you, isn't it?
It's pretty windy, but you know, I like the wind, especially when it's constant off the ocean.
If it's
the one park I fly in, like today, it had a nice breeze off the ocean, and it was great. I mean, I flew that big silver combat plane with the 46 in it.
Yeah. If you're flying patterns, you just have to realize how fast that wind makes it accelerate when you turn straight down into the first leg of a square or something like that. And, you know, that takes some getting used to, but yeah, the wind is your friend if you aren't scared of it and you handle it right. And if it's a steady breeze. Now, when thermals come through and you never know from one lap to the next which way it's going to be blowing, that's a pain in the ass. But
yep. Anyway, gentlemen, I got to bug out.
Yep, I'm going to sign off for the night too. I hate to cut it early for a Friday, but I got a road trip tomorrow. So everybody,
good.
Thanks for coming in, and I'm glad all of you guys are out of the hospital and back with us. And,
I won't be here Monday. I'm going to be or not. Wait a minute. No, I'm okay this week. It's next week. I'll be missing Friday.
Well, we'll see you. We'll see you and everybody Monday then.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, thanks everybody. Thanks for those that clicked the dollar button down there. I hope everybody in between now and then has tight lines, fair winds, and we will see you next time.
We'll see you guys.
Good night.
All right. Good night, you guys.
Good night. Click.